can sometimes start from like an improvisation and work outwards or inwards from there. And then sometimes I try and take an improvisation and maybe focus it almost into like a song form, in an abstract sense, but in my head they're songs. And then I can kind of unpack it from there. So I'll either keep some of the improvised elements or I'll write on top of them. It's the type of recording that is what I do as an artist on my own, with bands and different projects that I work in. That can be very different. But yeah, in terms of my own material, that's normally a starting point. Could be an improvisation. Sometimes it'd be like an interval. It can just be 2 notes, and I'll just get like fixated on those 2 notes, and then I'll work out from there. But for the most part, I'll sort of keep chipping away at it and keep making the sounds kind of malleable until I've got something that will fit in terms of like an album or like an LP or something like that will fit a bigger picture. So maybe with this one, I was thinking to some degree about the concept of time not being too linear, and that you could have a history that's actually facing the other way, looking at you in the present. So it's a movable sort of story, time. And sometimes I get the music to reflect that. So the track that I've performed is called Of Eyes Clean. And the way that track can work in relation to that sort of loose concept is that you've got essentially like an arpeggio that just kind of like Peter Benny, double bassist, came up with this very, very long, sort of beautiful, simple kind of arpeggiated line that just stretches across the chord sequence. And what I can do then is we can sort of, the bars don't necessarily add up. So this idea of like, you got someone like John Lee Hooker, like a blues musician, you would think is sort of playing what they say 12-bar blues or something like that. But if you actually listen, none of the bars really add up to 12. They're all kind of like 16, 17, or whatever his inclination is to move the music on from there. So the idea of this piece was to stretch the time in a similar way. I've done things in 4 minutes and I've done things in 4 years, and this record is pretty much is a reflection of that. I would say most of it took quite a while, but there's a few tracks that I did on my own that just came together very quickly.